Hello, welcome again. We're going to talk about the most important thing for a foreign company when it comes to Mexico, taxes, and electronic accounting and electronic invoicing, and more videos I want to do in the next days, in next weeks. First of all, which is the most important tax here in Mexico? Here in Mexico, the most important tax is the value added tax, IVA, value added tax. The second most important tax is the IEPS, special tax on some goods and services. Which goods? We are talking about alcohol, tobacco, okay? And Business Central cannot manage the tax over tax in the Mexican version, okay? In the Mexican version, you can manage value added tax. Let me show you this. If you see, we have here a Mexican tenant, and we have sales tax and we have value added tax. Oh, we can manage both. No. If you set up this in the GL setup, this cannot be used. And in the other way, if you manage sales tax, you can use value added tax. Why this? I don't know. In previous version, you can manage both, but when Microsoft released Business Central for Mexico, for Canada, and for US, they make this change in the code and breaks a good functionality. Well, let's talk about the taxes. Let's see this. Here in Mexico, we have the sales price of a product. For example, wine. Wine have a tax, a special tax, based on the alcohol volume and with this percentage. When you have a bottle of 100, you can calculate a special tax of 25 and then take this sales price plus the special tax and use that as base for the value added tax. Okay? You can say, we can create different value added tax for this. Maybe yes. You need to make some calculations and put a special price and then, or put this, okay? Instead of putting this, writing this 100 in the sales price for that product, you can put 125 and then calculate this. But remember, you need to say to the government, hey, I sell a bottle of wine. I owe you 25 pesos from special tax and 16 and the difference 20 pesos in this example of value added tax. How we can control that if we don't have special tax control? We cannot do. We need an extension for this. Okay? In case that you manage value added tax, maybe you can do this working with sales tax. Let me show you what is the idea. We have here this one, the areas. If you see, for example, we have British Columbia. Let me open this, and we have here two lines. The government, the general sales tax, plus the province of British Columbia sales tax. Let's think this is the 5% and this is the 7%. What's happened if we create a new one? Let me put it in this way. Yep. Country region. This is a problem because we don't have here Mexico. Put here a new one called YEPS. And put in here 25%. And then create create a new one, call it IVA, 16%, and the same setup. And select this as order 1 and IVA order 2. We can do this in Mexico. We need to forget this field, okay? And we need to manage some changes in our customer database because we need to declare that they live in Canada. I live in Canada, and this is my GST 1 and my GST 2. Why this? Because this is the JEPS 25. Maybe we need to manage 30% JEPS, maybe 8% JEPS. This is for sugar items, you know, like those bread that you can buy in Walmart with a lot of sugar, rolls, for example, cinnamon rolls. Those items has an 8% of JEPS, besides the value-added tax. Yeah, it's a food, but it's a very high content of sugar food. So we need to pay special tax and value-added tax. So let's go back. I can use this, but here in Mexico, we have another things to control. For example, the VAT type. Usually in Europe, you put this in percentage. Why? Because I need to calculate 16% of the base to calculate my tax. Yeah, this can work. But here in Mexico, we use cash basis. Why? Because we say to the government, hey, I received the payment for the wine. How much? The full payment. Okay, we need to declare this 25 and this 20 pesos. Where I can manage this? If you see, we have many boxes for GL accounts. This is my sales VAT account. Remember, when I make a sale, I create a sales invoice. I put the tax amount in this GL account. But, first, this one, and realize it. When I make the invoice and post the invoice and the systems post the GL entries, the system puts the tax in this GL account, unrealized sales tax account. Why? Because I don't receive any money yet. It's a credit sale, maybe. And then when I receive the payment from the customer, I take the tax for that sale in a cash basis of how much money I received for payment, calculate the value-added tax, and then move that tax to this account. It's the same for the purchase, but I cannot move the tax until I make the payment to the vendor, okay? And the vendor gives me electronic invoice with a payment received. I'm going to talk about this in the electronic invoicing video. But the system, Business Central, moves the taxes from this account to this account in a cash basis when I receive the payment through the payment journal or the deposit journal in the bank part of the system. Okay? So, if I use sales tax, I don't have this. It's automatic movement of my money from one account to another account. This is the first problem, okay? Second problem, we manage, we know as, let me open this, GL, setup. I'm looking for the setup, general ledger setup. Here we have this bad in use. This starts the value added tax setup and work in the system. If this boolean is off, we are using sales tax. That's a different. Okay. Another problem, the second problem that I told you is, remember, here in Mexico, we can import or export. But when we make some importing, when we importing goods, we need to make some tax payments for those for that import. Okay, and those payments and those costs are in US dollars if I import from US. Sometimes I need to recognize a change in my value added tax for the exchange rate created by the exchange rate because I received some goods and 20 pesos by dollar. Then when I pay at 21 per dollar. So I have a loss of 1 peso. 1 peso for each dollar. So my tax is changing. I need to make arrangements, to make a setup. If I want to adjust in the local currency amount or in my US dollar amount for that adjustment for the value added tax. If I choose sales tax, this is not going to work. So I have a more work of tax calculation manually if I put this in just for manage the special tax for some goods. Remember, alcohol, tobacco, uh, high sugar food, and another things. That's the three most important for that kind of tax. So this is a big problem for Business Central because we have this problem, this tax that we cannot manage in the system. Okay. The next video, I'm going to talk about the electronic invoice because it's related to this problem of the taxes. And the second video is I'm going to talk about the electronic accounting because it's very important here. Let me show you. I don't remember if it's here or where. Actions. Here is it. The electronic accounting. Bye.